Welcome to the first episode of At the Table. This is where we're going to talk about political topics, entertainment topics, and just get feelings from a little bit of everybody that's almost the opposite of each other. We have teachers, we have, I don't want to refer to you as gangsters, and we have
moms and retired rappers?
yeah, moms and retired rappers. The opposite of everybody, and here at the table. Thank you for tuning in to the first show at the table. I appreciate everyone that came out of their way. Thank you. Coming all the way from Clayton, Delaware, and all the way from the west side. And where you come from, Louis?
I'm always from Bear, man.
Bear? All right, cool. I'm going to hop right into it, man. Since we're, in Delaware, Wilmington's the biggest city in the state. I want to ask, what do you think's the biggest problem in Wilmington, Delaware? We'll start with the lady first.
I'm going to say it's a tie between
Speak loud to the camera.
violence, specifically amongst the youth, and the opioid epidemic is a big issue.
I agree. What about you?
I'm going to say lack of extracurricular activities. If you go back to early, I'm going to say 2000, maybe 99, you even had Storm Norman's. Community centers were jumping when I was younger. We all went to the community center. We all went to Hilltop, West End City, Browns, and we had things to do. As you grew older, there's no more Stormins. There's no more basketball stuff for the city like that. There's no more summer youth as much as it is anything. So, me coming from the hood, when there's nothing to do, you're going to find something to do. So I'm going to blame it on, I'm going to say the state. It's the state's fault.
Much to do in the state.
Yeah, it's the state's fault.
But you know what, though? I agree with that because, so I grew up in town. I grew up in Wilmington.
Right.
And I can tell you, now that I do live in Bear and I get a chance to, watch from afar,
Right.
when I was coming up, and it was all that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an issue to man, I'm bored, man. Yo, let's go to the paddle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm bored, or, let's go to the pool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it's not a thing no more.
You can ride the bus to the mall.
Right.
10 of us riding the bus to the mall. 10 people ride the bus to the mall nowadays. They're going to say it's a gang activity.
Right.
Y'all not coming in here like this. It's nothing to do. Literally.
What about in other states that there are things to do, like California and Florida? Why do you still see a lot of the same problems, just more of it because it's a bigger state?
I would say that it's just, how can I put it? I would say that it's really they're trying to eliminate people. If I could put it in my best aspect, the prison system, everything, they're trying to eliminate people. There's not enough resources in this world to take care of everyone. So I believe it's a bigger thing behind of what everybody thinks it is. You turn around, people are dying, they don't care. The police take 10 minutes to get to a crime scene when a person could have been healed in 11. You know what I'm saying? So I just really think that the government doesn't care.
All right, I agree with all of y'all. I know one of the things that, I feel is a problem is children just don't have someone to teach them. And, they think that it's okay to wake up and eat McDonald's for breakfast. Right. And it's because their parents are kind of leading them on thinking that you could go to KFC and Taco Bell for lunch.
Right, but
and then you're going to the Arab stores for, to get a burger.
Yeah,
now you got every meal of the day, you just had some kind of fast food, and then you see the way that people are physically, they're not healthy. And I think that, the government does that because they do want to control the population. They want you to eat unhealthy. They don't want you to, do healthy things. That's why the organic food and all the healthy food is so expensive.
When's the last time you've been to a corner store in a city and seen fresh fruit out?
Yeah,
you got right as soon as you come in the store, you got the oatmeal cream pies and the nutty bars, et cetera, chips. You go in there for something healthy, there's not. They might have aloe water or something, but you're not getting no kombucha in them stores. You know what I mean?
And it's stuff that you do gotta that is healthy for you. I learned this. Everything, that's expensive and unhealthy is always at eye level whenever you go to a store. So, a lot of times you gotta look up, you gotta look down to find either the cheaper or the more healthier route. for some, whatever you're going to eat. But I'll be honest with you, man. Like, it's a lot easier
Now, case
to
in point,
go to McDonald's. Like,
it's
or just
convenient.
to put a microwave meal in instead
Yeah.
of prepare something fresh.
So it's
We got
convenient and it's cheaper.
It's convenient. It's cheaper. I'll say this as like someone. I'll say this as someone who works in education. I'll say this as a veteran. Way too busy to sometimes like
Chef up a meal.
and I can cook. You know what I mean? And if I have time, like we definitely, it's definitely a thing. But with working with kids, and sometimes like I have a kid who like, hey, I work right at William Penn. Hey, can you stay after to help me with my homework? Or hey, I got this issue going on, and I ain't ate lunch yet. You know what I'm saying? Lunch is free now. You know what I mean? Like, lunch is free now. So,
schools?
oh yeah.
Oh, so ain't no more cards with the social
specific-
security.
in specific areas.
Remember when you would,
card with
remember
your
when you
social
would go
security
in
number
and you had to put in your lunch number, and then you
Yeah.
walk out and be like, oh, you got free lunch, you broke. Like, nah.
If
everybody
majority
get
of the population, I learned this because my son went to school down in Clayton, but I recently moved back to Newark, so he goes to a school in Newark. If majority of the population of that school is low income, then everybody gets free lunch because they don't want to. Because I remember that too in school.
Yeah.
I went to Stubbs,
And I always got free lunch.
Yep.
You know
and
what I mean?
and now like both places, my son got free lunch because I'm on government assistance, but
Yeah.
that wasn't. I mean, it was only a couple people in certain schools that I went to, like in middle school in Newark. There was only a couple people, and you knew, oh, they're broke. You know what I mean? But now it's
Yeah.
like give it to everybody.
Everybody get it, and it's a lot. It's now it come. Money's a factor when we talking free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like I look at my schedule, I'm way too busy to be like, yeah, man, let's have some
And
organic
another thing
beans and
is,
rice.
growing up, and this is about the problem in Delaware. Growing up, even the drug dealers still had like a sophistication with them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was like I couldn't sit out on the corner,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to school. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
wouldn't let me go to school without new shoes on and everything. So what I believe they did was they locked up the people like them. Charged them with more harsh crimes than somebody else who could have been across the street, could have been a African kid, white kid, or whatever,
Absolutely.
or whatever. My old head sells drugs, and he gets 10 years, and a guy who's not like him sells the same kind of drugs, and he gets
6
60
months.
days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
10 months.
So they're taking away the people who used to tell us what to do, and then that's leaving like my generation. Like we wasn't the generation that was so much into talking to the youth, like the older ones like us before us was. So that's the main thing
They
too.
still looked out, and that's why when we were growing up, people still had guidance. You know what I mean?
right,
Nowadays, you got 13-year-olds with guns. You know what I mean? And it's just it's crazy because there is nobody there to guide them like that.
Yeah, and I guess to answer your initial question, because I agree with what you were saying at first, but I'll say I think the biggest problem is that the city of Wilmington has no leaders whatsoever, and I think the problem with that is like, you because you brought up a good point, man, because. Like, I think we all had that old head that would tell us, like, you would look at him and be like, man, you're not even doing right, but you telling me, but I respect you enough.
Right.
You know what I'm gonna go
Do
ahead
as
and
I say, not as I do.
You know what I'm
type
saying?
mentality.
And I think, and as I look, like, from kids that I know, I worked summer youth last year, and you're absolutely right. There wasn't a lot of applicants.
Yeah,
compared to years past.
When who was it? Mayor Seals? Was it Mayor Seals?
No, or for the
I'm
mayor
talking
that we
about
got now.
no, not now. Before
Yeah.
Mayor Seals. When Mayor Seals was the mayor,
Yeah.
everybody had a summer youth job. It didn't matter if you was failing. Didn't matter what you were going through in school. Everybody had a summer youth job.
Right.
That created money. You know what I'm saying? So these young kids didn't have to sell drugs because you'll have a summer youth job. You'll go back to school with all new clothes instead of now, like, you're looking up to somebody that's on the corner and you like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go back to school. I ain't got nothing to wear. You know what I mean? And then I ain't got nobody that's going to look out for me. So I got to do what I got to do to get money, whether that's robbing, stealing, killing, like, you know what I mean?
There's like
Do you
no
think
back to school drives.
Do you think Wilmington is as bad as it used to be, or is it getting a little better?
No, it's worse.
It's worse?
Worse.
All right. What about 5 years ago when they said it was murder town around?
Worse.
It wasn't murder town then, man.
It wasn't murder. It was murder. I want to say it had to be
It
was
per capita. That doesn't mean, like, you know what I'm
And we're
saying?
small
Like, that's not,
compared
it's
to
just
like a
small.
Chicago
So,
or a Philadelphia.
Nah,
So
it was one
so
year.
is it worse now
It was,
than it was?
it was one
when that
year.
was-
It was 1 year. Wilmington was getting rocking. Like every week, you turned around somebody you knew that died. That happened for like 2-3 years in a row. But as far as I get what he's saying, it's not like a Chicago. It's not like a. But you know.
I mean,
but
you
as far as
remember all
small
the shootings
cities.
last year though.
But even in Chester, you look at Chester. People die a lot there too. It's not even
Camden,
like more than Wilmington. More than Wilmington. It's just.
All right. No, I don't want to spend too much time so I could talk about more topics, but one thing that I did want to, just say, and I was over here on my phone texting it, I do think that pharmaceutical opiates are a problem because they're more accessible for kids. They could get them from their parents' medicine cabinet. And then once those pills become too expensive, they're going to buy a bag of dope. It's a lot cheaper. And it's an easy way to, get the heroin. And to cover your point, yeah, there isn't a lot of things to do. And I remember 302 Guns Down did an event. And I did a little basketball thing, and I was trying to raise money so we could put glass courts all over the basketball court. But there wasn't a lot of support. And I'm only one person, and there's only, there's life that comes in the way. So I do want to get back to that, and that is a goal of mine, to put glass basketball courts all over the city. But I heard that if you do that, then that's when all the troublemakers are going to come out on them courts and just make it.
Delaware's a follower state. You know what I'm saying? Before a person would support somebody from Delaware, let it would have been, I love Meek Mills, but let it would have been Meek Mills would have came down here and say, yo, we're going to put glass courts down there. Everybody would be like, oh my God, Meek Mills going to put glass courts, but let it be one of your own, then it'll be like, then, I ain't doing this, so I don't care.
And then one more thing before I move on, I noticed that I asked, do you guys want water or soda? Some people don't even like the taste of water. That's how much that they've been, eat chips, eat soda, eat fast food, to the point they don't like the taste of water. They rather have soda.
This is a treat for me. That's why I said sure, because that's all I drink, water all day. I keep that and seltzer water. I drink that a lot. But.
I know. What about you? Do you drink water much? Or you just about, I already know the answer to that. Nah, but my point of that, my whole point of saying that is that I feel like that if people were enlightened and they knew how to eat healthier, then they could live healthier, and they don't really have people telling them, yo, you can eat healthy by doing this. But not to spend too much time, I'll move on to the next one. All right, this subject right here is real crazy. The government lost, from what I heard, it was 1,400 to 1,700. But I just had someone check Google, and they said 6,600 kids have been separated from their parents. And we're talking about immigrants that are, I guess the government, ICE, has locked up. 6,600 of them are being separated from their parents. And they lost them. It's not they're just separated, they actually lost the kids. No one knows where they're at. So, what do you think about this?
Fuck Trump. I don't know. That's really all I have to say about it. He's...
Basically.
I can't even wrap my head around. I can't even put myself in a position to think what goes through this joker's head. You know what I mean? I just can't. A lot of it is they weren't even immigrants. They were children born in the U.S., but they lost their documentation. They lost their birth certificates, etc., etc. So now, because they fit a certain ethnic profile, they're immigrants. You know what I mean? Because their parents weren't born here, but they were, because a lot of people come to this country so their children could be citizens of the United States.
Crazy, you can't find them, but you can find my cousin JoJo selling crack down the street. Or you can find Bin Laden hiding in a tunnel in Saudi Arabia or wherever. You know what I'm saying? It's been going on, though. I can't put it fully on Trump. It's been an issue of people being missing in the world. It's all over. Sex trafficking. I mean, to me, it's like the workforce. You go in Burger King, it's like 10 of them in the back. You know what I'm saying? And we can't get jobs. You know what I mean? It's just, Trump is a businessman. And coming into his presidency, I had to understand that he wasn't put here to be political. He was put here to get money. You know what I'm saying? And the way to save money is to, not spend money. So if you don't got to pay us, knowing that we, and I'm going to say we as African Americans, I feel like we're just owed a certain amount or we deserve more for everything that we've been through. But you can only pay another minority $6.50 an hour. I mean, why not? Why not?
And then correct myself, human trafficking.
Yes, human trafficking.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about it. I actually, when you got the information, as I say, I got the up to 1,700.
Yeah, I heard 1,700.
So
when someone checked Google, but still 1,700.
even 1,700 is too much. So that's too much. I think the problem that we have when it comes to this is it just shows me that you were saying earlier before we were filming you're jokingly but there's an ounce of truth to it, like you're a conspiracy theorist. And I never classify myself as that. I do believe there's a hidden truth when it comes to that, because you don't lose a person.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know you, I know you now. I can never lose you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in this house. You know what I mean? In this city, I can't lose you.
Yeah.
So to say that a person is just lost or their documentation is lost, it is upsetting that, looking at what I do personally, it's upsetting that the give back that I do try to perform, whether it's working with the kids, whether it's being in the military, whether it's whatever, I can tell that's clearly not enough. You know what I mean? So it's kind of I asked the question like, well, what the hell can you do?
I mean, human trafficking is major. You look at Kanika Jenkins' story.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at
That's always been
anything.
one that baffled
The DMV
me, too.
pressures you. They practically pressure you when you go to the DMV and say, they don't even tell you, oh, you want to be an organ donor? Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had to go back to the DMV twice to change minds. Like, I never told y'all to put that on there. You know what I mean? And then it's just like crazy that the way people are dying, you think it's all like set up. That's why I be so much into my conspiracy, because I be like, okay, y'all pressure me to be an organ donor, and then y'all put me in these environments where like I'm set up to fail or die, and it's like, maybe somebody's living better off of my life than I am.
I agree with that. I think you're 100% right on that.
That's what I was going to say too. Is like, are they really missing, or because I'm a conspiracy theorist? You know what I mean? Are they missing, or did they just slaughter people and take their organs? One or two. A lot of people, like a lot of Mexican people, like that. I mean, they go to crazy lengths to get into the United States. You know what I mean? Like walk miles and miles and miles with nothing to eat, nothing to drink to get here. Like that's how much they want to be in this country and provide for their families. Are they missing, or did they change their identity and they're like so
can't keep a hold
vulnerable,
of
not vulnerable, but like they want to be here, so they're just like, whatever, just change my identity and put me in a different position.
Okay, that's a good thought too. I didn't actually think about that.
I just thought about that just now. It never crossed my head. But.
I'm the kind of person where you could say I'm a conspiracy theorist too. And when I first heard that all them kids were missing, the first thing that I thought is they're taking these children and they're selling them to pedophiles. That's my thought. You don't lose that many people, and it's a shame because these Mexicans are leaving Mexico because they're dealing with so much violence from the drug cartels. So they're actually coming here, to try to get away from that, and then they end up getting locked up, and you end up being separated from your child, and you never get to see your kid again, or you never get to see your parent again. And just think for 1 second. Like, how would that feel if you lost your kid and you were never able to see your kid again after you got locked up by one of these cops and you never seen your kid again? Like, that's crazy to me. That's hurtful. So, it's a sick world we live in, and I would not be surprised if these children that are missing have been sold to some old pedophile that just has that because every time you turn around, look at the Catholic Church.
What was that movie?
It doesn't matter.
Remember there's
the Hostel.
Hostel. Yeah, Hostel. Yeah, that's real. It's hidden truth.
Yeah.
Yep. Right in the media, and the media put everything in our faces. We just as human beings just don't pay attention. We just remember the commercial that was 2 minutes before. But yeah, sex trafficking is major. I've seen documentaries, read info, especially in Chicago. You look at Chicago right there because the Mexican cartel is trafficking a lot through Chicago with guns, drugs, and everything. You know, and it is lucrative. Sex trafficking is lucrative. You know, the back page. Right. You know what I'm saying? It took so long. How much you think the owners of back page made?
Craigslist.
For the longest. Craigslist. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go anywhere. It's
in
anywhere.
Iowa, I think it was like Iowa, or like one of them Midwest places that no one ever talks about. Like 400 to 600 minors, Hispanic minors went missing within a month. The news, we never heard about it over here. Might have been on local state or channels and stuff, but we never heard about that. That's crazy.
It is.
In a month, you know, primarily Mexican females under the age of 18. Like, where are they going? What are they doing with them? That's just insane. And then you find out like all these people that have been like hidden in goofy white men's basements for 25 years. They got 5 of their own kids. If it's a boy, they kill it. If it's a girl, they keep it so they can just have sex with that kid.
Yeah, that's
so sick.
I remember there was a girl in California that actually grew up, and the guy was on probation. Probation would come, they'll check, and they never looked out back. And the whole time it was a girl that he stole as a child.
Yep.
And then she became older. And I guess he wasn't as attracted to her anymore because now she's not a child as much. Mm-hmm. And he had kids with her. And she never wanted to leave the kids alone with him because she knew
she was brainwashed at that point, too.
Yeah, she had opportunities to leave, but I forget what it's called.
Munchausen's or something like that?
Stockholm syndrome where your captor, you could get away, but you're not going to because the way that the experience just traumatized you from your captor. Mm-hmm. So it's a shame, man. And you know, kind of speaking about pedophilia. All right, man. Now we're gonna go into this next subject because you know the last one had some pedophilia in it. So we have to ask, what's your opinion on this R. Kelly situation? I noticed that Philadelphia banned him from the city where he's not allowed to go there and do shows anymore. So if you were on the board in Wilmington, Delaware, would you ban R. Kelly from coming into the state and doing business? We got absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And?
I don't think we could because he hasn't been found guilty of anything. He hasn't been found guilty. My own personal thing is I don't trust the man. Like me and my brother right here, I would not let him around my kids, but I don't think you can stop that man's money without him being not found guilty of anything. You know,
well, I don't think
people accepted him after the Aaliyah situation.
Yeah.
Right there, that should have been a red flag.
Because
he's with a 15-year-old, he married her. How come people
accepted that?
Because he made the people a lot of money.
I don't know if people accepted it more so that people didn't. They didn't say anything. And I guess silence is consent, right? You know what I mean? But
unless you're passed out.
Then you got a whole nother problem. But I just look and I when I think back, man, like I don't think he can be trusted around any children whatsoever. I don't trust him around any children that I associate myself with. I wouldn't trust him around any children that you guys associate themselves with. So it's a thing of and it's not. I don't think the goal is to stop his money. I don't think the goal is to starve. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, well you know what, let's boycott R. Kelly. That ain't gonna happen.
Why are there 15-year-olds at an R. Kelly concert?
Blame the parents, like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a huge problem with everybody that came out in that documentary that was a parent that said, yeah, I let my daughter, I let my niece, I let my whoever go to R. Kelly's house. I'm sorry, but like, and maybe I'm just the old guy that's saying like, oh well, you can't go to nobody's house. You know what I'm saying? Period. But I don't know of any acceptable time that a 15-year-old should ever be at a grown man's house unsupervised.
And even if you think back in the day, the type of music that R. Kelly was making, I don't think it was really acceptable.
It's baby making music.
For
When you
a
think baby making music, you think
Right.
R. Kelly.
to be at R. Kelly concert.
I'm glad you said that because there's 3 songs that, and I'm mad at him because now I don't feel comfortable. I was working out earlier, and all of a sudden, I Believe I Could Fly came on. I'm like, damn, change that.
Keep it on the down low.
Yeah, my cousin Andre was killed in 2002. I wish. Every time I hear I wish, I think of my cousin Dre. And now I feel not as comfortable as I used to be listening to that song. And then Half on a Baby. I actually remember being on the phone with my ex and telling her I want you to have my baby. You know, just listening to Half on a Baby. And now I'm
That's the voice you
Yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable. I don't feel as comfortable as I used to be listening to it. It's still in my still in my Spotify playlist.
If a person's gonna take away from that, then you gotta go down the history. This Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that documentary. I can't wait to see it.
I'll be honest with you. So
if Michael was alive, do we boycott Michael Jackson?
No, you
No, 'cause he
don't.
didn't
No, you
do it.
don't.
Why?
And I'm gonna tell you why. So I honestly don't believe Michael Jackson.
Ha!
I don't believe Michael Jackson did it. So I'm gonna use your line. I'm gonna go conspiracy theorist on this one. I don't believe Michael Jackson did it because all of the hoopla around it caused me to believe that something bigger than this. And understanding through whether you want to agree with it or not, in the terms of law, to settle out of court is not an admission of guilt. So just like you were saying earlier, like, yo, well, what about, the parents who just want the payoff?
R. Kelly settled.
He was found not guilty.
He settled on a couple cases.
He settled on some stuff, and it's not an admission of guilt.
Sparkle's parents.
Right. It's not an admission of guilt, and I'm not saying he's guilty because of the like in the court of law. I'm not saying we go off of that, because if that's the case, then we should be okay with slavery because at one point that was legal. What I'm saying is, I don't trust him as a man. That's my problem as a man. You make me uncomfortable as a man.
Would you take your kids to the Never Ever Ranch?
No, we ain't going. We ain't going because you don't need to be around that shit. You don't need to be around that kind of stuff.
Never Ever Land.
You know, because
it's the same to me. Him and Michael are the same to me. I grew up off Michael. I love Michael. Yeah. But I mean, you can't just take that out of the context and say, "Oh well, R. Kelly, you did it because it's now." Because Michael settled out of court too. He did the same thing.
Well, no. And the only reason, and that's why I say it's the hoopla around it, because the only reason I can't get down with R. Kelly, but I can get down with the whole Michael Jackson thing, is because the parents of the Michael Jackson case were caught lying. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, okay, I proved you to be a liar. I proved you to have a history of trying to extort people with money. I can't trust your word. R. Kelly, on the other hand, will tell you like, yeah, man, R. Kelly, do you like teenage girls? And when your response is anything other than hell no, when your response is like,
he said, how old is teenage?
How do we define teenage? I have a problem with that.
14 or 17
You know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, and we can all say this as grown men, and we can all say this as adults, let's really have this conversation. What can an 18-year-old do for you sexually? Truthfully, nothing. Yeah. Right? Yeah. What can a 19-year-old do? Nothing. 20, nothing. 21, nothing. 22, nothing. 23, let's think maybe, but the answer is still nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like for that to even be a fascination and even a thought at 15, 14, 16, whatever the case may be, it's kind of like, yo, you got some real problems, dude. Like, no, I don't.
And it's not even like a 15-year-old nowadays. It's like, oh, R. Kelly. Like, it's not like we're talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine or somebody relevant and young. Like, this is an old man. His balls are sagging. Like, no 15-year-old girl wants that. You know, I'm sorry. I'm just blunt. But
so,
how come nobody ever brought up anybody else like Jay-Z? He was dating Beyonce when she was a minor.
No.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
No.
I know that. Leah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Somebody. He was dating somebody.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Not Ray do this the whole.
Yeah.
It's the rock.
Well, do you think that some people are able to reach a certain stature
and nothing happens
to where
And
no one wants to believe it, even if they are guilty of it.
It's because they love your music. Nobody wants to believe that the person behind the music is so satanic.
DMX is a crackhead, but I still love DMX, and I'll never stop listening to him.
You listen to their music growing up as a child, and you think of them as
You
like
don't
your
wanna believe.
heroes.
Yeah.
That's your heroes. You know, you want to be like them. And then,
So would it be
It's kinda like a
acceptable if
father
you found
figure.
out that Jay-Z did all this crazy stuff? Would you still accept him?
I'm still going to this concert.
You would still go to this
I'm
concert?
not
still
going to
going to
Jay-Z.
this concert.
If I found out Jay-Z touched 12-year-old girls, I'm sorry, Jay-Z.
My kids ain't
I
going
can't
around.
Jay-Z's not getting my money, but like I would have to.
And my point of saying is just figuring out, are we going to accept people just because we're being biased towards them? We're, on their side of it.
So when it comes to entertainment, here's the harsh truth, right? Unfortunately, you have some people who are able to separate R. Kelly from Robert Sylvester Kelly.
Sylvester.
You have some people who are able to separate Jay-Z from Sean Carter. You have some people who cannot, right? And that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll tell you, like, I'm one of them guys. Like, I like R. Kelly music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if it comes, like, will I go out searching for it? No. But if it comes on the playlist, I'm listening to Pandora or whatever the case may be, I'm not turning it.
I'm going to pirate it.
You know what I mean?
Would
But
you turn it up in the car?
I probably would because
Would you blast it down with the
Yeah,
windows
with the windows
down when
down.
people
I
looking?
probably would.
Dancing
because
in elementary school?
Well, nah. But the only reason I say that is like
Feeling kind of spicy.
it's especially for like coming up and just like you said, like they look at it as your heroes. Like you got to think what music does for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like not what R. Kelly does for you, because that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
It's what music does for you, and what his music did for me. Like I'm sorry, like I didn't associate it with 12, 13, 14-year-old girls then. I'm not associated with 12, 13, 14-year-old girls now. But you know what I mean? He's not coming to Delaware.
All right, so we got to vote. He wouldn't come.
No.
No. And
I guarantee if we do an R. Kelly concert, it's going to sell out. I'm
all
sorry.
right, you going? All right.
My mom
So-
probably goes.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
It got to be one of the free Jones.
Yeah, I'll play the let-out.
You know what I mean?
The jazz.
I don't even know if I'm going to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
Come to the jazz fest. I'm like going down King Street.
Or you know what I'm saying?
My
I don't
ear
even know
like,
if I want to play the let-out. I'm
I
going
may
to
be
be
off.
outside of there.
All right, now moving on. I actually had to switch this question because it first came out as, how does someone like, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Jussie Smollett. He's best known for his role in Empire. How does he get attacked in Chicago, but a pedophile like R. Kelly could roam around free? And then I was gonna follow up by saying, do you think that people accept pedophiles in society more than gay people? But now there's this whole new thing that Jussie supposedly,
He set it up.
allegedly
These
set
men
it
were
up.
paid.
He paid people to beat him up, and he messed the whole question up at this point. So I'm thinking, like, what's your thoughts on that whole controversy right there?
I think,
Did he do it for attention?
yes, we're now in a day and age where anything negative gets you views and views get you money. You look at Tekashi 6ix9ine, you look
Bad
at
Baby,
DJ
Dumbass.
Academics, you go on, the social media era has made it so you can make money doing stupid shit.
What makes me mad about it is, like, why'd you have to blame it on Trump supporters? Because now they have something to throw in
Yeah.
our face.
Well, because
every time
if
something
you-
similar happens,
if you-
they're going to bring this up.
If you go on YouTube and you put, okay, the caption of the video is Jussie Smollett attacks, and the guy yells out, "Make America Great Again." Everybody who goes on YouTube and type in "Make America Great Again," Jesse's going to come up.
Okay.
What is a bigger topic than Donald Trump? So
He's
it's
the
all
most
publicity.
popular person. in
And then the
history.
guy's on Empire, man. He's Lucius' son.
I've never
They
seen
all
Empire.
do. Hey, listen,
I've
man.
never seen Empire. I don't watch
They
it.
all do crazy stuff,
I
man.
heard that,
It's all for publicity.
I heard that he's about to get written off of the show, and maybe it was just a ploy to try to have
He needs
more
to be
attention.
relevant.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. I want to believe his story. You know what I'm saying? I said I don't wish harm on anybody. You know what I mean? But I would just like to believe somebody wouldn't lie about stuff like that, because the recourse that I'm looking at, much like you're going to have a lot of people who are going to say, well, now that it's not true, let's support Trump. You'll have a lot more people, which I look at the population of that I deal with. I deal with high school students who are now coming out as homosexuals or lesbians or transgenders or bisexual or whatever the case may
Do you think it's a problem with them pushing the gay agenda
I do, but
onto the youth?
Yeah,
Because
I do.
if you look at Jamal, his character on Empire, every year he's having sex with another man. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like everywhere. Like, that it's like
They're making it acceptable.
They're making it acceptable.
To be cool. To be
not to say that there's anything wrong with gay.
But there
not to
is
say
it's getting
that there's
way
anything
too.
wrong with
I
gay.
was watching,
But I think it should be a person's own choice.
Yeah.
I don't think that the
it
media
shouldn't be
should
forced.
Right,
force
right.
that on you. And Jamal, which is his
For-
character,
force what?
is a likable character on Empire. Besides him being whatever he is, not to say be rude or anything, but he's a likable character. And it's like they're pushing it on you, and I know a lot of people don't like that. So
I just think that's bizarre. Like, I'm sure you've watched Loud House with your kids. You ever
What's
seen
that?
Loud House?
No, I
On
haven't.
Nickelodeon. It's a cartoon
I know
on
what it is.
Nickelodeon. The parents are gay.
yeah,
Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gay people at all, but
Right.
to have like,
The
I shouldn't
perception.
have to answer when my son was 5, Mom, why does he have 2 dads, or whatever,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? It's
So,
just like, how do you explain that?
I'm with you. I feel you 100%. I'll just put it to you like this. Think of that question in reverse, and that's what I get. So I get the question, Mr. Jenkins, where's my representation of my 2 dads? You know what I'm saying? Where's my
There you
representation of my
go.
2
That's a
moms?
good point.
Where's my so and I get what you're saying and trust me, like,
that's deep.
you know
That
what I'm
is.
saying?
That's deep. That's
And
deep.
now me as the educator, because I'm not the parent. Me as the educator, I got to look at this kid like, well, not really a lot of people want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
It's like when we were kids, and they only had white, black,
I remember,
Hispanic, no biracial on TV.
I remember, true story. I remember, I say the kid's name. I remember him coming up to me saying like, "Yo, Mr. Jenkins, you mind coming home and having a meeting with my dad so I can tell him that I'm gay?" You know what I'm saying? So like, I get it because my girl's over there. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand, but it's a whole other side to it that I think a lot of the world's not really looking at. And the same questions that like people have.
It's
like,
a touchy subject because do you not accept your family members?
Right.
Do you not accept if you have a child, like you can't stop that.
But let's go ahead and move on to the next subject. All right, now this next question is kind of piggybacking off the last one because it's just crazy things that happen in your kid's school that you wouldn't know about if a lot of times you didn't check their phone. So, do you think it's right to check your child's phone?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If so, then why?
Because so what I've learned, I say this as an educator. What I've learned is that a lot of parents, because you're speaking as a parent to go through your kid's phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say a lot of parents miss a lot of important things because at this day and age, kids aren't like social. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they can't sit in a room and just talk. You know what I mean? So all of them are on their phones. That's where most of that communication comes from, right? So how can I have a conversation with you face to face? You're not going to give me one. You know what I mean? But I understand like a lot of parents aren't like hip to like the technology, the phone thing. You know what I'm saying? So I say this as a parent educator, and as we have the Restorative Practice Initiative at William Penn, and all I do every day, all day, is conflict resolution, and it's so much that goes down in 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old's life on the phone. A whole beef could happen. And we can sit right next to each other. Whole beef could happen. You don't know nothing about it. They won't know nothing about it. But I don't like you. You don't like me. And I said this on Instagram because you said something on Twitter. And and well, you hopped on your Finsta. You know what I'm saying? And all sorts of stuff. So yeah, like you go through the phone to be abreast on what's going on in your kid's life because the what happens is I then become parent. You know what I'm saying? It's so many kids at that school that call me dad. And I don't have any kids of my own. But there's so many that call me dad because of how, yo, give me your phone. All right, who's it? Okay, who's this boy? All right, what y'all talking about? Why y'all talking about this? All right, well, nah, we got this problem. Nah, y'all need to break up. You know what I mean? Like, should nobody be talking to you like this? You know, but they don't get those kind of conversations because nobody's really addressing them where they're at.
Okay, now we have a beautiful baby here named Aspen, right? Are you gonna go? And if you hear the baby in the background, that's Aspen right there. Would you go through Aspen's phone when she becomes 12 years old?
Absolutely. I mean, I have older kids. I have a stepdaughter who's 13. And
Okay.
as soon as you brought that up, I thought about this one instance. We were all sitting down, get ready to have dinner. She's sitting next to me, and she's heavy on Instagram, right? So I'm like, let me see them DMs, what them things looking like. So she points to it. It's this local rapper who shall remain nameless, who's young. She was DMing him, and they were getting ready to meet up. She was 11 at the time, dude. Now,
crazy.
granted, she was saying she was like 16 or something like that, but still, you're over 18, and you're in my stepdaughter's inbox, and it wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't nothing too crazy or anything. It was
still,
just,
it
but
shouldn't be happening.
it could have developed into something much worse. And I'm so glad I was sitting next to her, and I'm like, look. So I text her mom, like, you need to start checking her phone. Now my son is just turned 9. I just gave him my old phone, so he hooks it up to the Wi-Fi, and he's on Snapchat just to communicate with his friends or whatever. But he has to sit in the same room as me. He has a limited time frame. You can't go in another room with the phone. I need to know everything that's going on. And guess what? Just like my mom told me back in 2000, until you're old enough to pay your own phone bill, go ahead, ball out. And when I was back when I was 15, it wasn't plans. Like it was like you had to wait till 9 o'clock to call.
Yeah.
You had T9 texting.
Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't too much texting.
Yeah.
We did the party line thing. You know what I mean? Because you had the T9 texting. You could catch arthritis effing around texting a sentence. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, I'm definitely going to be on all my kids' phones if I'm paying for it, and even if you're paying for it. You live in my house.
Yeah, I had the free incoming, so I'll call you. You'll call me right back.
Yeah.
You know, but Diggs, you have a daughter. Are you gonna go through her phone?
No locked doors in my house.
Yo.
You ain't locking no damn
Yep.
doors. You ain't putting no passcodes on your phone.
Yup.
Right.
I need to know where you at. And I don't even like to be like too strict, because to me that it pushes them away. You know what I mean? At the same time, you can't be like fully a friend,
Right.
because you still gotta be like, you gotta like balance of it. But you definitely have to check phones nowadays. You know, like you said, everything goes down on social media. You know, nobody communicates no more. Nobody knows how to say hi, how you doing, how to
You're right. You're right. They don't know how to socialize.
You know what I mean? So everything definitely goes down. We're in a social media day and age, and I'm all for checking phones till my daughter is 30.
Okay, now 2 points I wanted to make. I agree with you, because the more that you try to block the world away from your child, it's going to make them want to go explore it more. And I'm not going to say her name, but I know someone that when I spent time with her, she was not allowed off of the porch. And we had to sit on the porch and see each other. But guess what? As soon as she had an opportunity, she did any and everything.
That was my parents.
And now she, you know,
And I went crazy.
yeah, she went crazy and all over the place. So that's why I think that you have to limit the control you try to put on them, but at the same time find that balance. But anyone else got anything to say on that subject?
Check phones, parents.
Check phones.
Yeah, check phones, man. And I like what you said about like kind of finding that line of not going too much to friend, too strict, and it is a very fine line. It can be.
Yeah, just just be cool enough where they'll come tell you thinking that you're cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like be cool with your kids, so they'll come up. Oh yeah, Dad, man. You know, little boy said, oh yeah. He said what? And then you get a chance to flip it. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it where they stand up, so they're afraid to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta understand you're a parent, but you can't have it so your kids are
and sometimes I'm scared that I do that. I'm scared that my son.
I mean,
scared,
it happens because you're there to protect them, and you're there to be there. So it's gonna be times where they're like, oh, that's my dad. He's not cool.
Right.
He's not. You know what I mean? We get older, and then it turns into we're no longer that guy.
And we're thinking we're
and they're getting older, but then you got to think about how you was when you were a teenager. You know what I mean? And sometimes it click on to you and be like, you know what? Maybe I am being a little bit too hard. because when my mom or my dad did it, I really didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's all a cycle.
I tell them all the time, like, man, I wish I had a dad like you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool as hell. But, moving on, and I kind of tailored this question, because I have a teacher here on the panel. Do you think that education in America is too hard for the children, or do you think that it's not hard enough? And I'm asking that because I know that the test scores in America are very low compared to other countries in the world. So, to finish up, it's almost like this is a third one. Do you think paying teachers more money will yield better results on test scores? So I'm going to let you lead with this one because you're a teacher.
I think the education in America is too easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's hard enough at all. I will say, because, and the only reason I say that is, like no other time before do you have so many kids that have AP classes, that have advanced placement classes. You have kids now that can tell you all about how, if your phone break right now, you get a 7-year-old and they can tell you how to fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the issue that we run into when it comes to education is education hasn't caught up to that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay,
we
I
have
see
a
what you're
very like outdated style of teaching, right? The day of, and I tell teachers this all the time, the day of sit down, shut up, and listen to me talk is over. It ain't no way, and it don't even have to be that hard because I know how I was in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get me to sit down, shut up, and listen to you talk. Now I'm gonna do something. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you're more engaging than throwing a worksheet or a
Hands-on.
packet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that day is dead. Watch this video. Here, as a matter of fact, we had did this. I created for my class an Instagram page. You can't tell me that follow my page. You can't tell me you missed an assignment. It's on there. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? Make it
So
relevant.
exactly.
that.
So the thing
Something
is,
to do.
and the thing is, I've never had that problem. I've never had that problem of like, oh man, ew, Jinx, I forgot. I know you follow me on the gram, brother. You know what I'm saying? We ain't having this problem. So I think the general education itself has moved slow, and but the kids are way too smart. The kids are way too smart.
I believe you should pay the teachers because they spend a lot
Absolutely.
of time with your children.
Absolutely.
More than we did.
More than you
This is the
do, you know what I'm
conversation.
saying?
This is the conversation.
So okay. So going there, do you think that the school system teaches the kids things that they won't even need later on in
Yes.
life?
I've never used algebra once in my life.
Yes, you
as an
have.
adult.
Yes, you
Never.
have.
No, I
Yes, you
haven't.
have.
I'm just
Like
saying.
that school, what's the dude's
Yeah.
name?
Algebra is nothing but variables, right?
Yeah, but the actual mathematical problem, I've never actually used it.
Once you got done writing it down, you never did that before.
Right.
But you have done algebra. You said,
Show me
okay,
an example.
you got to be to work at 3:00, right? Got to be to work at 3:00. Okay, if I take 95, that'll be faster. I can get there at this time. Okay, well, how much time would it take if I went this way? So how much time would I take getting this way is solving for X. You know what I'm saying? You've done it before.
So
You just
subliminally,
never-
I used it, but
Right.
okay.
So the thing is, like, you've never had to say, okay, well, if I drive 50 miles per hour, and if I do that, and if I drive, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
no.
GPS.
Waze
Global
doesn't.
positioning system, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But, you never, that.
Sacagawea ain't got nothing to do with that Comcast bill. Hiroshima ain't got shit to do with Bell Marble Power.
So, okay, so follow me on this one, right? So here, I'm going to give y'all the same lesson I give my kids, right? The core subjects in school teach you about life.
Math.
Right?
Social
Math
studies.
teaches you how to count. No, teach you how to problem solve.
Okay.
That's all math is, right? You can give me two times 2, right? You can solve it one way and get 4. I can solve it another way and get 4. We problem solved. Damn the answer. How did we get there? That's all math is. Social studies is nothing but history. It's the blueprint. Everything repeats itself. There was a government shutdown under Obama, just like there's a government shutdown under Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing new. So when it comes to like all the laws, all that other stuff, like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's you won't be up in arms about the housing boom that happened in 2008 because you understood that happened during the Great Depression. science is nothing but knowledge. Just shit you have to know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to stop you. Like you have to know. We'll say the periodic.
I'm just raising my hand because you're a teacher. I think that you're right, and I also think it's the way. It's just like when you speak to somebody and you're trying to communicate something to them.
Absolutely.
It's actually the way that you say it to them. You know, and
Language arts.
if teachers actually kind of that thing. I love what you do on the gram. I think if they kind of evolve on the way they teach, then the kids will learn more. But at the same time, I know that some teachers are like, I'm not doing all this extra work, and my check's only this much.
That's
Like
my
Denise
favorite.
said, look,
Yeah.
just shut up, listen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to teach. You know what I'm saying?
Watch this video.
Some kids actually be smarter than what you think they are. They're not going to sit there and be like, you're going to get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
And
is
a lot of kids have ADHD.
this is
Yeah,
the
so
issue
I'm not sitting
I've
through this
had.
class like this
Absolutely.
while you're telling me something that I already know.
I agree.
That I watched on YouTube 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. An issue I have is my son went to a Catholic school for 2 years, and it wasn't necessarily for the Catholicism aspect. It was more so for the education piece, right? Because they give them all this homework. They keep you up to date. They keep the parents involved. They keep it fresh, current, relevant. You know what I mean? And my son, his penmanship was amazing. He was learning new things. He was interested. He was engulfed in his education. It was amazing, right? So this year he goes to a public school down in Kent County. The only complaint I would have had was that he really didn't have too much homework, but he did his there's an app called Remind. And the teacher was very involved in it. She sent pictures of the kids every day. This is what the kids are doing today. This is what we're learning. I'm going to send home this. Your son did this in school today. He had an issue with this student. This is what we're doing about it. What do you think about it? Et cetera, right? So whereas he had 5 packets a night at the Catholic school, well, this one he only has 3 and he has to complete them in a week's time frame. So, we just ration them out or whatever. Well, we moved back up to Newark and he's in Christina School District. He gets homework once a week.
I hate that.
The teacher
My
doesn't
son-
make
yeah.
him write anything in the agenda book. I never know what homework is. I never know what happened. I don't have to sign anything, acknowledge anything. No packets. He hasn't gotten a book report. He hasn't had he got straight A's on his report card. Like, I know my kid ain't no damn honor student.
Right.
Lies,
No.
But I message her on Remind because she has it too, but she just doesn't do anything with it. I'm like, my son is coming home with homework once a week. I would check the agenda book, but you don't have him writing it. So is this correct? Like, is he really only getting homework on Monday nights?
Right.
I'll send him home with more. I said, oh, okay, didn't. So I have to go online now and find packets for him to complete at home because I don't know what he does in school. I have no clue. How's your day? Good. Well, what happened? I don't know.
You're the
Lunch
best teacher,
sucked.
though. You're the best teacher.
Absolutely.
And you're not the,
I have to take that into my own hands now.
And to
at
be
this point.
fair, and sorry to cut you off, but and to be fair, and I don't know who this teacher is, and I guarantee you she's not contractually obligated to use Remind, and I also guarantee that there's 29 other students in her class that she got to deal with. And unfortunately, and I find that this happens, and I wish I had a better answer for other than it is what it is. Unfortunately, it'll be kids like that just get lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
Because I got kids who got ADHD. I got kids who are gay who want to talk to me about that and really don't care about, life after high school.
So
you know what I'm
you think
saying?
smalling down, making the classroom smaller would be more effective?
Absolutely.
Not so
Absolutely.
many kids in the room, so you can.
I can tell
focus
you
on-
one time, my smallest class that I had 2 years ago, my smallest class was 34 kids.
That's crazy. I will say this, my son, I told him, why is it every time I turn around, you don't ever have nothing in your agenda book? So now he has to go to the teacher and get it signed, verifying that he does not have
As
homework.
per you.
And I'm on him. I'm not going. But there's a lot of times they don't assign homework.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. I try to come up with things like you said, just to kind of help them at home. But to be honest, I don't really know what to do either. There's some homework that comes home, and I'm like,
They don't even add. They
I don't even know the answer to this.
They don't.
one.
They don't add and multiply the same anymore. It's not.
Oh,
like
They don't even
yeah,
write
that
cursive.
was
Yeah, they don't write
Yeah,
cursive.
they don't write
Especially
cursive
like you
no
take
more.
the numbers and flip them backwards or whatever. I'd be like, what the fuck is?
Yeah, it's a done deal.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
don't.
also hard when you co-parent and the other parent isn't engaged like you are too,
Right.
and they're over there for a week and they have a project, and then they come home and it's like you didn't do it, and then they fail, and You know what I mean?
Yeah, I go through the same thing where I'm saying if I'm the only one that's on him for the agenda book, and then he goes to your place and he knows I don't have to worry about it. Well, then I have to teach him all over again when he comes to my place. So can you please just check his agenda book? But man, I hate to end so soon, man. I had a couple more subjects that I wanted to talk about, drug addiction, but you know, it is what it is. I know that this is the first time you people are here, but it won't be the last. Thank you for coming on the show. I learned a lot from each of you. I appreciate you guys going out your way. Is there anything you guys want to say before
Shake my hand
we wrap
shake
up?
my hey.
Hey, okay. Anything you guys want to say before we leave?
Late Night at the Studio with Logan Jenkins is coming back this summer. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Late Night at the Studio with Logan Jenkins. Man, you definitely got to be on my show too.
Definitely, I'd love
Follow me
to.
on Instagram, Diggs_radio 3 times.
When the next mixtape coming out?
As soon as I have some time.
Cool. Thank y'all for coming at the table and tune in for the next one.